In this video, we are going to understand how to delete Google Calendar meeting when contact is deleted from HubSpot. So let's say there was a form submission and you have received the lead. Now, what is your objective? That the same lead should be added as a new contact in HubSpot and then a meeting should be arranged in Google Calendar. Now, let's say after validation, you have deleted the same contact from HubSpot, then your objective is to delete the same meeting that you had in Google Calendar. How can that be done? For this, we are going to integrate HubSpot and Google Calendar using Pabbly Connect. So every time a new contact would be added here, first we are going to search for that contact. If the contact exists, then in that case, this particular step won't follow. But if the contact has been deleted, then we are going to search and delete the event from Google Calendar. So here our trigger application will be HubSpot and our action application will be first HubSpot, then Google Calendar. Now, how can you integrate and automate this entire process? To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page. Now here, since I'm an existing user, I'm going to click on sign in. As we do that, here we have reached all apps page. And these are the various products of Pabbly. So here I'm going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect as we are doing this integration using Pabbly Connect software. So here we have reached the dashboard. Now on the right hand side there's a tab create workflow. Let's click on this. And a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now what is my objective here? When someone books a meeting through form submission, then automatically the attendee is created as a contact in HubSpot and then a meeting is booked in my Google Calendar. Now let's say that the domain is invalid or it is not a company domain. My objective is to automatically delete the contact from HubSpot and the meeting from Google Calendar. So I'm going to name it as delete a Google Calendar meeting when a contact is deleted from HubSpot. Let's click on create. So as we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One here is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now, as per this integration, let's say that through some form submission, I have received a new lead and that particular lead has been added as an attendee for a particular event in Google Calendar. Also, the same user has been added as a new contact in HubSpot. So let me show you the same. So this here is my Google Calendar where there's a meeting which has been scheduled for today at 1 o'clock. And here the name of the meeting is Pabbly Connect meeting and this particular user has been added as an attendee. And now the same user has been added in my HubSpot contact. Let me show you the same. So yes, you can see that this particular user has been added as a contact. So these are my contacts and this user has been added. Okay. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. And here, what do I want? First of all, I want a new contact to be added in HubSpot. So here, my trigger application will be HubSpot CRM. Now the trigger event is new contact added. And I'm going to click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect wants to connect itself with the HubSpot CRM account. Let's select add new connection, connect with HubSpot CRM. And as we do that here, Pabbly Connect is asking to choose the account. So I have chosen the account with which I have connected my HubSpot CRM. And here you can see that the authorization has been successful. Now here we have to select the output properties. And here we only have the email address of the person. So here I'm going to choose email. Let's go down and yes, here we have the email. Okay, now I'm going to click on save and send test request, and as I do that, you can see that we have got the details of the last user that was there in my HubSpot. Now let's say once we have received the contact, the company is checking if the domain is invalid or if it is not a company domain. So here I'm going to hold my workflow, delay my workflow for a few hours. In the action application here, I'm going to choose a feature by Pabbly which is delay. And here, how long do I want my workflow to be delayed for? So let's say it is hours and let's say I want to delay it for 2 hours. Okay, let's click on save and send test request. So here we can see that my workflow has been delayed for 2 hours. Now let's say it has been 2 hours, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the same contact again. So here again the same application I'm going to use, HubSpot CRM, and the action event here would be search a contact. So it is going to search a contact by the defined property. Now let's click on connect. Here I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. Now here we have to map the following information. First of all, the matching property. So what is the matching property? So we have to look for the email. So here is the email. Now the operator, so it should be equal to. Now comes the output properties. So for output properties, let's say it can be first name. So here it is, last name as well. So here it is. Also, I'm going to select the email. So I'm going to write email once again, and here we have the email. Okay. Then the search value. So I'm going to now map the value. How am I going to do that? For this, as I click on this, you can see the previous step. So I'm going to go to step 1, and here I have to look for the email address of the person. Here it is. As we click on save and send test request, here you can see we have received the response. So yes, since the email address exists, so we have received total as 1. Now in case of an invalid domain, so the contact would have been deleted, and in that case we would have received the total as 0 instead of 1. Then here we have the result ID, which is this. Properties, created date, then we have the email address of the person. This here is the first name, and this here is the last name. Now once we have received this information, this means that the contact is still there. So now I'm going to choose a filter by Pabbly, which is that if the contact is already there, then the workflow should not continue. But if the contact is not there, then the workflow should continue and the meeting should be cancelled. So here I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly, which is filter. And here I'm going to select the label. So I'm going to go to step 3. Let's go to total 1. Now this should be equal to 0. Which means if the contact has been deleted, then only the workflow should continue. So here, since the contact has not been deleted, we have received the message as condition is false. But let's say if it was 0, then what would have been our final action step? So the application here would be Google Calendar. Here it is. And the action event here would be search and delete event. Let's click on connect. Here, Pabbly Connect wants to connect itself with the Google Calendar account. Let's click on add new connection and sign in with Google. So as we do that, here we have to choose an account. So I have chosen the account. And once done, let's click on continue. And here we can see that the authorization has been successful. Okay, now here we have to first of all select the calendar. So here let's say that I want to work on this latest calendar that I've created. So I'm going to go ahead with the latest calendar. Okay. Now what is the search term? So here the search term will be, for this I'm going to go to step 3, and here we have the email address of the person. Let's click on save and send test request. With this email address, any event that was created in Google Calendar, now that would have been deleted. So here we have received the response, and now I'm going to take you to my Google Calendar, and you can see for 20th there is no event, which means that our integration is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here, after we have received the form submission and we have received the details of the new lead, so an event was created in Google Calendar. Also, a contact was created in HubSpot. Once that is created, we have used a feature by Pabbly, which is delay, so that the workflow can be delayed. Now here you can change the time. You can use a day or 2 days or maybe an hour or maybe 30 minutes. Now once you have delayed it, so next is you would want to search for the contact. If the contact is still there, then the workflow won't continue. If the contact is not there, which means that it has been deleted, then the workflow is going to continue. And here in our Google Calendar, we are going to use for the event search and delete event, and finally the event would be deleted. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.